This right here is not a bicycle, and it's not an e-bike. And you know what else it isn't? Legal. So what the hell is it? This is a Tudio ICT. Oh man, here we go again. Tudio has come in yet again with another bike. This time it's a little bit different and a little gray area, but let's break it open, see what we got.
Is it supposed to be pronounced it?
I don't think so. Sounds too much like it.
And who wants to ride a Tudio it?
Sounds like Tudio gross.
I still don't know what a Tudio is. Tudio ICT.
And what we have is this, and the real question you should be asking yourself is, what the hell is it? Is it an e-bike or is it an e-motorcycle? You'd think the pedals would answer that question pretty easily, but it's not that simple. More on that later. So far with certainty, I can tell you that this is a Tudio ICT. At least I presume that's how it's pronounced, because I'm pretty sure they don't want me calling this the Tudio ICT. But I guess we can also call it the Tudio Sport Power, GTR Sport Power, Power S, Tudio Power and Sports Power S. Super. Seriously, what the hell is this thing? Tudio calls it an electric bike for adults, so we'll go with that for now. But what else do they say? Well, this has a hub motor, 2 kilowatts, and in the frame sits a 60 volt, 25 amp hour battery. It's also got 20-inch fat tires, a headlight, a taillight, and they advertise this as a go-anywhere bike, both city streets and rugged trails. But now let's put it to the test, both city streets and rough trails! But now that we're on the open road, we can get a better look at what the Tudio ICT has to offer. And the first thing that you'll notice is the very big display right here, and a well-lit display. Even though this is in direct sunlight, I can still read everything out perfectly fine. It also has everything else you'd expect from an e-bicycle. It's got a full twist throttle, a key, it's got some display functions, a headlight, a horn. It also has gears, both bicycle gears and electronic gears. It's actually got 5 electronic gears, which we can row through because we're going up a pretty steep hill to give us a lot of power and get up that hill easier. But back to the question that I posed earlier, what the hell is this thing? You'd think the answer would be really easy. It's an e-bike, duh, but that's not the case. E-bikes have classifications, class 1, 2, and 3, and the e-bike will fall into one of those classifications depending on how it functions. Class 1 means that it's pedal assist only, no throttle whatsoever, and limited to 20 miles an hour. Class 2 is pedal assist or throttle, still limited to 20 miles an hour. And class 3 goes back to pedal assist only, but bumps up to 28 miles an hour. And all e-bikes, no matter what classification they fall under, are limited to 750 watts of power. This has both pedal assist and a throttle, but it's got 4,000 watts of power and can definitely go more than 20 miles an hour. So, according to the letter of the law, this is not an e-bike. So if it's not an e-bike, then what is it? If it doesn't fall under any of those classifications, then it's simply an unclassified vehicle. And that means that if it's unclassified, that it doesn't fall under the rules that a bicycle normally would follow. What that means is that this thing is currently in a gray area. It looks like a bike, quacks like a bike, but isn't. And that gray area can vary wildly depending on where you live and your local laws. Here in California, like many other states, this would actually be considered a moped or maybe even a ZEM, a zero emissions motorcycle. Either way, that means that this bike has to be registered, you have to have a motorcycle license, and obviously follow the rules of the road. The funny thing that I noticed is that when you're in pedal power 1, this limits you to 20 miles an hour. How convenient. I think it's their way of trying to say that, look, we have a class 1 mode, but really, no dice. Because that's not what this bike is limited by. If I'm in the highest power mode, which I am right now, and go full clip, it's saying 42 miles an hour. And that's lie detector verified. It actually says 43 miles an hour. That's why I'm suited up like this. It's not because it's a joke. It's because this thing can legitimately go fast. Fast enough that a bicycle helmet and flip-flops aren't going to cut it. Now that we determined this bike is illegal and unregistered, let's continue with the review, shall we? Once you settle into a cruise on a nice, smooth, flat surface, this is pretty nice because the ride is pretty plush. It's got these big, fat, beachy tires, which absorb a lot of the bumps. It's got a really nice, cushy seat. The seat's a little low, but I'll go into that a little more later. But as we come up to this stop, I can go back down to pedal assist number 1, so we can go through the gears and see what that gives us. So in pedal assist 1, yep, it ramped up and then just stopped basically at 18 miles an hour. That's what that's limited to. Let's click up to number 2. It instantly jumps you up to 24 miles an hour. Level 3, again, bumped to almost 30. 4th, Gets you up there again. 35 miles an hour. Ooh, 36. 36 miles an hour. And finally, fifth gear, bumping you all the way past 40. There it is, 41 miles an hour. Now at this point, I'm on pedal assist. See, I'm not using the throttle, but as you can tell, I'm not actually pedaling. And this is the other part of the pedal assist that I'm not a huge fan of because it's an all or nothing. Let me demonstrate. I'm in mode 3 right now, so it's got gear assist level 3, which will get me up to like, what was it, 28 miles an hour or something like that. But I'm gonna start from a standstill and using pedal power. So I'm gonna push, and it doesn't really kick in very well until I get up to speed. But then once I do, it shoots up and says, oh, you're in number 3? I'm going to get you there as quickly as possible. And now I'm stuck at 28, 29 miles an hour. And that's what it is, whether you like it or not. So if you're using the pedal assist, you really got to be careful as to what gear you're in, because if you're going around a corner or something, for example, and you think you're in power mode 1, but really you're in 5, and then it kicks in and it shoots you forward, you're not going to be ready for it, and this thing could throw you off. Now, as we're riding around, let's talk range on this bike. They claim 30 miles if you're just doing throttle assist only, but then up to 100 if you're using pedal assist. But that 100 mile an hour claim is really iffy when you consider that most of the time, because this is such a fixed gear pedal system, your pedals aren't really doing anything. I'm just moving them along just to move them. I highly doubt that even if I'm going really fast like this and still not putting pressure on the pedals, not actually using that to push myself forward, it's still 100% throttle movement. I don't really think I'm putting that much energy back into the battery to give me that much more range. There's another weird thing that I noticed with the throttle and the delay of it. So we'll demonstrate. There's a stop sign coming up. It's even flashing at me. And I'm pedaling along, so I'm getting my full pedal assist. Now if I let off, it's still going. Now it kicks off. It's a little jarring because with pedals, you think once I stop pedaling, then I'm not getting that forward momentum. But then when you stop pedaling, it keeps going, and it's just a little weird.
So if you actually treat this as an e-bike and using the pedals, it's not exactly as easy as riding a bike. But let's touch on some positives, shall we? And I have to mention the frame and construction of this bike. It is so good. It's really well made and it is just straight up beefy. I also really like the integration of the battery inside the frame, so it's not as obvious that it has a battery pack, and it's also down low, which helps with weight distribution and better handling. On-road handling, at least.
But back to the rugged trail aspect, and right now, first impressions, the suspension on this bike is just straight up imaginary. Like, it has no give whatsoever. Ow! Like, what's the point of it being there? I can't even compress it. In fact, I had to take off the 360 mount on the handlebars because it was going so crazy that I thought it was gonna fall off. Even on the streets, you should see what things look like right after the intro. This is a Tudio ICT. And you know what else this isn't? Really plush and well sprung, because god damn does this thing bounce like hell. I tried that intro like 5 times already. This right here is not a bicycle. This is also not an e-bike. Oh, that thing is shaking all over the place. This right here is not a bicycle. This is also not an e-bike. Alright, let's do this again on a smooth road. This right here is not a bicycle. This right here is not a bicycle. You're doing a bad job today, buddy. Well, I'll give you a quick mileage update. It says 38 miles on the odometer. Now, I haven't been doing that. I think I started on like 15 or so, and I'm at the very end of the bar. Not only that, but in 5th gear, fully pinned or full pedal assist, I'm only getting 30, 31 miles an hour. I think it's gonna die soon. Well, I think that's about all that it has. It's very much on the red bar, and odometer is 39 miles. So I think I did something like 20, 25. And keep in mind, the whole time I was using pedal assist with level 2 or level 3 most of the time, and so realistically, the pedal mileage and the throttle mileage are pretty much the same. Unless you factor in the fact that this does actually have pedals, so if the battery dies, then the mileage is infinite, because you can just pedal anywhere you want, right? But that's the final problem with this thing, because if I do decide to go on pedal power alone, it's a struggle, and I'm not playing this up. This is not a steep hill or anything like that. It's a flat road. I'm in 1st gear, so it should be the easiest on me. And even if I get up on the pedals, it's still like I'm pedaling through mud. It's because even though this has pedals like a bicycle, it It was not designed to be a bicycle. Why else would the seating position be low and fixed and the seat itself be wide? Not only that, but the frame underneath it have these two bars on the side that I've been smacking my ankles on the entire time. And had I not been wearing my boots, I'd have some pretty nasty bruises by now. So you're better off moving this thing like you would a dead e-motorcycle. And just push the thing.
You know, maybe I'm going about this review all wrong. I shouldn't be treating it like what it claims to be. I should be treating it like what it actually is.
Okay, now this makes sense. If you take away the pedals and just don't consider that at all, this is actually a really nice e-motorcycle. A lot of the problems that I've been bringing up this whole video just kind of fade away. Like now the seat is actually nice and comfy. The seating position is really nice. It's actually kind of cool because now this is like an e-chopper with the low seat height. My knees are still a little bit bent, and arguably more so than they are on all my other bikes, but one thing I guess I can factor back in with the pedals is that if one gets a little too stiff, I can just rotate and stretch out the other. The throttle is also not an on-off switch like it is with the pedals and the pedal assist. You actually have some variation in this, even if you're just in level 5, say. You can do level 5 the entire time, and it's not going to throw you forward with that added acceleration that you're not expecting. You can actually just use it as a throttle. The acceleration is nice and smooth, although it is a little on the sluggish side, but then again, this is a really steep incline. It's still getting up there. I mean, I'm almost at 30 miles an hour. And I don't think I mentioned it earlier, but the brakes on this are like the best ever. Ooh. Suspension is still a little to be desired. It's still very stiff and doesn't really feel like it's actually doing anything. Also, the handling is so much better when you don't have to worry about where your feet go. It actually carves pretty nicely for the size. You know, I think I finally figured out what the hell this thing is, because we've established that it's not an e-bicycle, it's not an e-bike, and it's not legal. But what it is an illusion. It's a disguise. It has all the elements of an e-motorcycle that you would expect from all the others, but with the added shielding, the added camouflage out in the urban environment. At least for now anyway, it's in that gray area where I'm just like him. So who knows what will happen with regulations and things, the crackdown on these type of gray area bikes, but for now, live it up while you can. And when I say live it up while you can, I mean live it up while you can responsibly and actually just follow the rules of the road. It's not that hard. That's why there's such a crackdown on these bikes to begin with. It's because little Jimmy and Timmy are running around not obeying the traffic laws, going straight through red lights and getting hurt. So stop it, Timmy and Jimmy. I'm watching you.
Okay, Boomer, calm down. I'll get off my high horse for a bit, but just keep that in mind. Nothing to get mad at if you follow the rules. So again, big thanks to Tudio for sending me whatever the hell this is.
So if you want to pick up the greatest bike with pedals, Tudio ICT, provided of course you never ever use the pedals.
The link to this is in the description, and use code LexDefox to get yourself a little discount.
Uh-oh. Battery died.